Well, this was the thing, mate. It was when I first started, obviously due to the lack of knowledge back then, and all that, we didn't have YouTubes and stuff. There was nothing back then, like there wasn't a lot of online advice for any
Yeah.
of that. So I used to go in the gym and I used to be in there about 3 or 4 hours, just going round and round the machines. So I did myself no favors, but I did sort of get a little bit of shape out of it. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I mean, back then, were you taking much notice of the nutrition side of things as well, or?
No, there wasn't, mate. See, but there was one guy around here locally who used to bodybuilding, like, as a little local man, he was like sort of like, in my eyes, he was a little bit like famous. We used to
Yeah.
see him and think, oh, he looks great. I used to love the size of him and stuff, and I used to look at him and think that, oh, I need to look big. I want to be big, And the way he carried himself, just looked confident, and like it was like he fascinated us when I used to watch him. So nutrition wise, it wasn't. There was nothing. There was no real guide for that until
Yeah.
like I started asking, which I wish I did earlier. But
Yeah.
then back then it was like me grand bless her who I lived with. She used to go to Asda every day. I used to send her to buy us a full cooked chicken and five chicken and rice pots from Asda every day. So I used to chuck the food in from quite a young age to try and get big.
Right.
Mm.
You mentioned big quite a few times.
Yeah.
So, why is big? Why is big important? Why is it when we all go to the gym, we're all looking for this big?
Yeah,
What's
do you know, like I said, it probably goes back to the school days because I was really skinny as a boy. I was like, my little boy's the same. He was, he's like a little booty pin. There's nothing on him, and he's obsessed with abs, so he likes it because he's ripped, for a little 8-year-old. Whereas for me, it wasn't about that, Barry. I used to look at the other areas. I used to look at my legs, hated them. Look at my arms, hated them. And so for me, it probably goes back to being younger. And like, it was always, because I always looked at a man who was bigger and how well he carried himself. It was like
yeah,
confidence. It was the confidence that,
confidence? Yeah.
yes. Yeah. That was my focus.
No, no, it's fine. I mean, clearly you do come across as very confident now. So
Yeah.
obviously something's worked.
Yes.
So in terms of where we are now, we're actually in Body Blitz gym.